Yeah, I know. This is why I reached the limits of my ability to absorb garbage. You know, I'm just watching the White House press spokesman Josh Earnest describe the upcoming meeting between the Pope and Obama. Oh, no. This is not two politicians getting together. No. There are no agendas here. Who could possibly think that? No, these are just two wonderful people who have similar personal issue beliefs. Chatting together, attempting to find common just pablum puke blah blah. Is what the White House press secretary... You know, by the way, greetings and welcome back. It's great to have you here on the Rush Limbaugh program, the EIB network, 800-282-2882. You know what I find fascinating about all this? Here you have the President of the United States, an avowed Christian, who has done everything he can to mock the Catholic Church, particularly when it comes to Obamacare. He does not hold a single belief when it comes to such things as contraception, abortion, you name it, with the Catholic Church or with the Pope. Well, previous popes. We still don't know where this guy is going to shake out. But journalists love this term, irony. That's to them what makes good news. Irony. Well, you want some irony? Here you have the avowed leader of the American Democrat Party and maybe the worldwide left, which has made its bones, in part, on its utter despisal of religion. Liberalism exists as a counter to religion, particularly Christianity, not just Catholicism, but Christianity in general. Liberalism exists in many ways as a force of nature or whatever political power aligned against the religious teachings and views of morality, virtue, discipline, temperance, you name it. The American left abhors these aspects of organized religion. And it comes under the umbrella of judgment. They just can't stand being judged, particularly by a bunch of religious fanatics. They don't want anything that they engage in, no matter what it is, ever proclaimed as wrong or immoral. And the things that they advocate are, I think, in part, not because they really believe them, but because they're so excited about the in-your-face nature of support. For example, gay marriage. I think the thing they really love about gay marriage is how they get to ram it down the throats of the Christians. That's what I think. How they just get to smack them upside the head. Gay marriage, supporting LGBT, normalizing this and that. I think it's a direct assault on organized religion. As much, if not more so, than actually believing in all of this. I'm not saying they're phonies about it. I'm saying I think what really inspires them and motivates them, I think they're just consumed with hatred for anybody that in their minds would dare judge them, particularly in the areas of morality. And who are you to judge me. Oh, it's in your book, your Bible. Well, I don't accept your Bible. Who said your Bible is fiction? Why should I accept you? It's just a total act of rebellion against any organized religion that talks about discipline, morality, the concepts of right and wrong. And yet, given all of that, who are they embracing this week? They're embracing a man known as the Vicar of Christ who, as far as anybody else knows or is concerned, believes in all of this stuff they despise. I mean, these are the people that make sure every possible abortion takes place. These are the people that make sure that if a woman is walking anywhere near an abortion clinic and she's pregnant and there's an adoption center right next door, they got people out making sure she does not go to the adoptions. It's a political thing. It's rooted in political power. It's rooted in money. They have this utter contempt. The American left has an utter... What do you think the reasons they object to Southern culture really is all about? It's those pro-laughers and no gun nuts and no Bible thumpers, people that drive old pickups. They get to the church parking lot Saturday night to get a good spot for the sermon the next day. They speak with utter contempt of all this. And who are they embracing? So why are they embracing a man more powerful than they are, who stands for everything they supposedly oppose? They must think something is different about this guy. We've already read that Obama plans to hide the advancement of his agenda behind the Pope. We know that's going to happen. That's why what Josh Earnest just said is well, it just insults my intelligence. You know, I don't have any patience for that. You just lie to me. Just tell me, look at my face and tell me you're going to lie to me instead of trying to get me to believe your lie, because it just insults my intelligence. Oh, no. These are not two political figures meeting. No. These are two men who hold similar views about life, and they're simply meeting to try to find common ground, right? That's why Obama is making sure that we've got a nun that's pro-abortion, that we've got lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered Catholics showing up. And by the way, apparently the Vatican let it be known that they were not happy with this guest list. I don't know what's become of it. But my guess is Obama doesn't give a rear end what the Vatican thinks. But I mean, these you talk about hypocrites or irony? But what it shows is they'll sidle up to anybody if it'll help them disguise their agenda in order to advance it. I mean, what could be better for them? Here you have these anti-religion zealots known as your modern-day Democrats. And here comes Pope Francis, his first ever trip to America, and because he has said a couple of things that arouses them. And make no mistake, when the Pope starts talking about anti-capitalism, they get all hot and bothered excited. So they'll sacrifice what they really believe, these phony baloney plastic banana good time rock and rollers, to hide behind this guy and make it look like his agenda is theirs. And in the process, if anything, make it look like this Pope is abandoning his own church in favor of the liberal church. If not abandoning, then what would be the word? Drastically restructuring his own organization to fit with theirs. That's a definite narrative that they're going to try to promulgate out there. But I just think it's phony as it can be. I mean, this is a party that raises money and gets elected on their outright, utter contempt for religious people now welcoming the man who represents an organization they despise and are trying to undermine. And make no mistake, they're trying to. Anytime you hear some Democrat or member of the media or some liberal activist or just anywhere demand that the church moderate its tone or demand that the church modernize and realize that women today have many more needs than the church is meeting. Women today want abortions, and they want to be able to have access to church-sponsored and paid-for contraception. And it's up to the church to moderate and modernize and modify its beliefs in order to be more in touch and have more in common with average, normal people. That's when you hear that. And then if they think a religious leader is doing that, then of course they will embrace. They'll embrace anybody they think is willingly doing damage to an organization they despise. And I'm not exaggerating this. They hold the Catholic Church in contempt. What do you think Catholic charities and so forth, universities, are spelled out in Obamacare? The Democrat Party and Obama would love to nullify the Catholic Church and its opposition to things that are doctrinal. Oh man, if they could get the church to change its doctrine, if they could pull that off, that'd be even better to them than subverting the Constitution. That'd be a bigger success story to them than subverting the Constitution. And if the Pope comes along and all of a sudden supports amnesty, which the Pope is going to do, you know why? Well, I got to be very, very... I'll just tell you, I read that the church needs... It might have been the Washington Post or it might have been the New York Times. I forget the news publication it was. But it said that the church, the Pope, is interested in immigration and amnesty and immigrants because they need to fill the pews. Just like the Democrats need voters. That is not my opinion. That is something I read earlier this week, and that did not end up in the don't care about it stack, by the way. That ended up in the care about it a lot stack. Because it's the same reason the Democrats are supporting amnesty. It's voters. I'll find it. I'll find what I read. It seems like it was the Washington Post. It might have been Breitbart. I forget which it was. But the reason the Catholic Church, the Pope, supporting our amnesty, immigration, is a desire to restock, if you will, the pews. And for those of you in Rio Linda, that'd be the places you sit, church. Yeah. It was the Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen. Headline on the eve of Pope Francis' visit. U.S. Catholic Church grapples with growth and decline. And from the article, the U.S. Catholic Church expanding quickly in the South and the West, largely driven by immigrants from Latin America filling the pews in Atlanta, Houston, and in Southern California. Meanwhile, the church is contracting in the East and Upper Midwest, where historic Catholic strongholds like Boston, Detroit, and New York City are losing and closing parishes as population or attendance declines. The result? Old Lion dioceses are battling to keep their doors open, even as fast-growing ones are scrambling to meet the needs of the growing faithful. Later, a New York Times article yesterday says the same thing. Pope Francis to find a church in upheaval. And it's all about supporting immigration and immigrants in order to fill the pews. And, of course, Josh Earnest said, no. There's no agenda here between the president and the Pope. No. Nothing to see here. Here's Ellen in Liberty Township, Ohio. Great to have you on the program. Hi.
Hi. I almost jumped up and down. You were exactly right about Lucent and what Carly did there. was she may not have been in the she was certainly the proprietor of that the whole effort. I'm nervous. I'm sorry.
I know you're so excited because I nailed something that you know to be true, and you're totally.
My husband worked at Lucent.
That's right. Your husband worked there and got probably shafted, and so you want to explain that.
Yes, he did, because one of her big policies when she came in was everybody in management had to have a college degree. They had people come up through, it wasn't only my husband, come up through the ranks who were very, very good. They worked up because they were hard workers. They knew what they were doing. They had a knowledge of the technology. They may not have had a college degree, but they all had lots and lots of training.
How old was your husband when this happened?
How old?
Yeah.
Oh, he was in his 30s, 40s.
How long had he been working there?
Well, he started working for Western Electric, which was decimated by the government and basically put out of existence, and then it became Lucent, and after AT&T. And anyway,
But how long had he been there before he got let go because he didn't have a degree?
He wasn't let go, but he never went any further.
Oh.
You see, he didn't. They had people, all sorts of people who didn't even have a high school diploma, who were promoted because they had ability. And that's how it used to be. People were promoted because they had ability and they worked hard and they got
Yeah, promoted. But you know what? That let me tell you something. It's the reason something like that was instituted, and this is generic. I don't know it to be specifically true, but Lucent. But it's like the interview process. Requiring a certain level of education is really, among many other things, a winnowing process. It's how you eliminate the number of applicants to interview. If you say you require 4 years undergraduate and 2 years specially here and there, you are eliminating just a whole group of people you don't even have to talk to. Now, I would imagine with existing staff, if you put a requirement to be promoted, education requirement, you have to have a degree in order to qualify for being promoted. It limits the universe of people they have to worry about promoting. And in some people, in some instances, it could actually be for substantive reasons. We want people that have been through the college experience and got degrees and so forth in our upper management because we happen to believe that's the best people. So I don't know you can hold that against her per se. Although, if it happens to you, it can embitter you. I totally can relate to that. This is why I finally decided myself that corporate life wasn't cut out for me. I was never going to fit the mold in any number of ways, but most importantly, conformity. I'm not one, and you have to be to go anywhere in that universe. I appreciate the call. Ellen Perry in Fort Myers, Florida. Great to have you on the EIB network. Hello.
Hello, Rush. Long hair, plastic banana, phony baloney, good time, rock and roll.
Great to have you on the program, Perry, old buddy, old pal.
You started to turn me in 1992 when I was 27 years old. Being a plastic banana rock and roller, I ran into the re-airing of your TV show in the middle of the night. And that's when I first began to have to admit that I was wrong about a lot of things. I want to respond to the lady who is mad at you and defend you for not bashing Trump. You've been hitting the nail on the head as to why we support him. We don't think Trump is some kind of rock bed conservative at all.
You know, that's exact. I've tried to tell so many people that that's not why Trump is being overwhelming. There's nothing to do with conservatism. And the fact that you've been here that long proves that you know exactly why Trump's working. And here's something interesting, too. It's a modern-day pop culture clash with modern-day religion. Friday is the 25th. This is Tuesday. So in 3 days, Apple will ship, well, they may be in shipping now, but in 3 days, new iPhones will deliver to people's homes or businesses after they pre-ordered them last week. In addition, some stock will be available for walk-in purchase and reservation purchase at Apple stores. Well, guess what? FedEx and UPS have alerted people in New York and Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., that they may not get their deliveries on Friday because of the Pope's visit. And in fact, there's even some speculation that certain Apple stores in Manhattan, well, throughout New York, Philadelphia, and Washington might also not receive stock for walk-in sale, although that's not quite as prominent news as is the fact that FedEx and UPS may not be able to make deliveries. Some people expecting the new iPhones on the 25th are now being told don't look for them until Monday because FedEx and UPS, we might not be able to get around the security. We may not be able to drive our delivery vans on Friday. And in reading the tech blogs, there's some people out there not very happy about this. That's stunning, isn't it? They are ticked off that, okay, the Pope can come, fine and dandy, but why does that mean FedEx can't drive? Why does that mean UPS can't deliver what I bought? Okay, the Pope can come, but why does that shut everything else down? Some people are asking. Not me, of course. Won't affect me. No. It is. It's unprecedented. Unprecedented security. By the way, I just want you to hear this. This is the Josh Earnest comment that lit me up at the top of the hour. I heard this in the news break at the top of the hour.
This is not a meeting between politicians, and this is not an effort to advance anybody's political agenda, but rather it is an opportunity for two respected world leaders with significant influence around the globe to spend some time talking about the values that they hold in common, and to do so in an atmosphere of respect, and it is an opportunity for the president to illustrate the deep admiration that the American people have for Pope Francis and his leadership.
Right. That's why you're inviting all these reprobates to meet him. These representatives of average, everyday America are the pilgrims. Get to meet Il Papa there at the White House. Yeah. It's not a meeting between politicians. No way, dude. No. Two respected world leaders with lots of influence. The Obama is the other one. You're wondering who the second guy was? Two world leaders. It's Obama. Politicians. Two respected world leaders. One, he's talking about Obama, his boss, and Il Papa, with significant influence around the globe, to spend some time talking about the values they hold in common. See, that's my point. What are they? Well, that's actually more than we knew, as it turns out. Anyhow, that's what set me up. Princeton, New Jersey is where the Gallup poll is. They got a new poll. Almost half of Americans, 49%, say the federal government poses an immediate threat to the rights and freedoms of ordinary citizens, similar to what was found in previous surveys over the last 5 years. This is Gallup's governance poll taken September 9th through the 13th. And it's not uncommon. This is pretty much what's been the case for the last 5 years. And you look at this, here's the Obama approval and disapproval numbers, Real Clear Politics averages. Obama job approval is 45%, disapproval 50%. You would... Direction of the country. Right direction, 29%. Wrong direction, 61%. Real Clear Politics, rolling averages of all kinds of polls out there folded together. And we've got all this stuff going on, all this dissatisfaction. I mean, the point, and where's the Republican Party in this? You have a Republican Party trying to take advantage of any of this? No. It doesn't appear to be the case. Steve in Dallas, great to have you on the EIB network as we head back to the phones. Hello, sir.
Hey, Rush. Thank you very much for taking my call, brother. You're a true American hero, and I love your show. Listen to it every day. You got to take one exception and go back to the earlier Carly Fiorina comments. Carly, when she was with Lucent, was president of the Consumer Products Division. She left in 1999. The demise of Lucent that certainly has captured a lot of attention during this recent debate actually started somewhere around 2001 under Henry Schott and eventually Pat Russo when Lucent finally merged with Alcatel in 2007. So in regard to Carly, she was a phenomenal leader and a person that I truly believe has courage of her convictions. Just a tremendous leader during the entire time that I was with the company, which was 25 years, and not directly, but under Carly for a couple of years during that time. So those are my comments. Just wanted to kind of set.
So you think Trump is wrong then when he talks about if you think it was bad at Hewlett-Packard, wait till you hear what happened at Lucent. Trump's not right.
I do, and you know what? I'm also a Trump supporter. I'm on the fence between Carly and Trump, frankly. But the time that Trump is referring to had nothing to do with Carly Fiorina. Lucent acquired 21 different companies in the early 2000s, and they overextended. They also there's an old adage that goes with that company that's called bellheads, and bellheads are reminiscent of the time when Ma Bell was still around and the government came in and deregulated. Well, Lucent still had some leadership that followed that mindset, and they were reluctant to change into the new industry. Point in case, John Chambers, president and creator of Cisco, was with Lucent way back in the day. He went to Lucent with a product, and that product was obviously the routers. And Lucent said no, because their vision was not forward-thinking. Carly Fiorina had nothing to do with that.
All right. Well, fine and dandy. So there you are. Those of you, and I've been hearing from you in the email, don't think I haven't. I've checked the email, and I'm being roasted in the email by Carly supporters who claim that I'm totally misrepresenting what happened there at Lucent. And so here comes Steve in Dallas with an effort to correct the record as reported in Fortune. And did I interrupt him? No. And did I argue with him? No. He had his fair shot at it. So there you are. Yeah, it hit me all over the place in the email here. And no. This happens during campaigns. I mean, it doesn't matter. If I was speaking out against, I don't know, take your pick. Well, Cruz or Carson, if I happen to say just the slightest thing critical, you think I wouldn't hear from their supporters accusing me of selling out and so forth? We knew it. You really haven't been a conservative for 27 years. You were just faking it. Your true colors are showing. Oh, yeah. No question it would happen. The heightened tensions of a presidential campaign. Let's go to the audio sound bites. When I got the roster today, I found out that I was the subject of the first three. So I relegated those to the last hour of the program. Here we are, Fox News this morning, happening now. Co-host Jenna Lee speaking with Betsy Woodruff, a political reporter at the Daily Beast, about Scott Walker dropping out of the presidential race. Jenna Lee said, is this all about Trump? Is that why Governor Walker is getting out?
One thing that we looked at is the support that Walker had among talk radio hosts, particularly Rush Limbaugh. Limbaugh talked up Walker for months. He loved him. He thought he was great. And then when Trump came onto the scene, Walker just kind of got displaced. He was sort of shuffled to the bottom of the pack. He went from being a hero to a Me Too. That's the actual term, Me Too, that Limbaugh used to talk about him. Trump sucked up all the energy.
Yeah, What do you mean there's two things out of context? No, Snerdley is shouting at me here from the IFB that Miss Woodruff here is taking the Me Too comment out of context. I remember when I offered the Me Too comment, it was, look, Trump has disrupted this whole thing, folks. It's not just Scott Walker. I mean, I guarantee you that Ted Cruz envisioned sitting higher than 7%. And more than that, I will guarantee you that Jeb Bush and everybody around him thought he was going to be in the double digits. Trump has disrupted everything. Nobody thought Trump was going to get in. Everybody thought Trump was doing his usual publicity stunt and negotiating a new deal for The Apprentice or trying to gin up audience numbers for it or whatever. Nobody expected him to get in it. Then when he got in it, the day he got in it, nobody believed that he would last the end of the day because of his announcement statement. And it just turned everything upside down. This is why I say it's impossible to predict the future in politics or in anything, really. But if you start endorsing candidates, you don't know, especially this far out. You can't possibly. I never hitch my wagon to anything that far out. You don't know what kind of forces are going to come along, and you don't know what's going to happen to people. And so you have to play it hands off and just objectively observe, which is my practice in primaries. But it's not just Scott Walker. Trump just upset everything. And after that first couple of weeks, you had a lot of Republican candidates in an attempt to not be marginalized. Hey, I think that too. I mean, Trump's got nothing new on anybody here. We all think that. So I dubbed it the Me Too caucus. But it was not to impinge or impugn those people, but rather to demonstrate the utter shock that Trump had caused within the campaign. Now, here's Scott Walker. Oh, gosh, I got to take a break. I just saw the clock. I'm way past this. So we've got a couple bites from Walker explaining why he dropped out, which he's being praised to the hilt for. He did amazing. Concession speeches are often among the best that politicians ever give in their lives. That's it, my friends. We are out of busy broadcast time for today. Not bad. Not bad for a stack, 90% of which was, I don't care. Not bad. And we'll be back in 21 hours to do it all over again, folks. Thank you so much, as always, being here today. Hang in.